Hi, this is Kathy DeHart with DeHart Construction Services, located right here in the Inland Empire. You know, we're a family-owned business, and today our youngest member of our family is visiting. Kinsey, can you say hi?
Hi.
Now, Kinsey, I have an important question for
Wait.
you. Where do you think food comes from?
A market store?
You're right. But before it gets to a market, we have farmers and dairies and all kinds of other people who make food. Do you remember hearing that?
Uh-huh.
And then we have people who have to keep the food cold.
And guess what?
What?
I remember we getting strawberries at a little market.
Well, Papa and I, we work with companies that make food and keep food cold and gets it to the grocery stores.
That's cool.
DCS is a proud supporter of the American Dream. For all of your cold storage or food facility needs, visit our website at chillwithdehart.com. Once again, chillwithdehart.com. Serving all of California, CSLB 949062.
What's up?
Alfred.
What's up? What's up?
Is it on yet? I don't know. I don't see the live. Alfred, is it played on Facebook? Alfred. Hey, Alfred, is it played on Facebook? There it goes. What's up? What's up, everybody?
Hello, hello.
Is it on Facebook?
Yeah, it's playing
go
on
ahead.
Facebook. It's, you know,
All right,
All
let's
right,
go.
go ahead.
Okay, so welcome to another edition of the Legsit War Room. We have a special guest, a super special guest. He's the dad of Legsit. He's / prayer warrior / dad / comedian / whatever you want. His brother's all of one. You know, when I first met this brother right here, and I'm going to tell you why he's so special. When I first met this brother, I knew exactly why Jesse is the way he is. Because with a dad like this, you got to be strong, bro. You got to be strong. You can't be a lightweight. So I just want to let you guys know this is Jesse's dad. Jesse Hogan, this is Jesse's dad, and it's a privilege. We've been trying to get him on. This brother, this guy's hard to put. This guy's hard to get on. Let me tell you guys, he made time out of his schedule to get on with us and drop some knowledge. So thanks, bro. Thanks for coming on. So Jesse, you want to introduce your pops?
Yeah, it's my dad. My dad right here. He's right there representing with the Legsit hat. So he's always has a lot to say about politics. He's always up on the game. He's always watching Tucker and Newsmax and all that. So we just thought it was a special treat to let my dad come on.
Hello, hello. Thank you guys. I'm with the bros now, man. With the guys. Cool.
Guys, cool. So let's dig into this. Because we don't have a lot of time and there's so much to uncover, so much to unpack. So let's get into it because I know everybody wants to know what's going on with Trump. And I want to hear what you guys, your take is on, do you think anything's going to stick? Because I was telling the guys earlier, Trump's going to be in for a fight. He's going to have to box this one out, right? Okay, so what do you think is going on? What do you think is going on? Go ahead, Jess.
No, I was going to say, it's just once again, these scandalous Democrats weaponizing the justice system. Like every time you think that they can't go any further low, they go even lower. Right? Like this is totally disgusting. Look at how many they have: the Russia hoax, the Ukraine hoax. They have all these. They're trying to all these special counsel, just all this stuff on Trump. And now we see once again, and then I even see that they're even. A lady in Georgia, Democrat, said that she's going to try to bring charges on Trump for some stupid, just for denying the election results or some kind of stupid crap. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it never stops with the Democrats. They're just do whatever they want. This is actually interfering with the election because he's up on Biden by like 20 points. So then they come out with this junk, and then to the timing of it. The timing of it is right after we see that these transgender attacked and killed all these Christians, and then we see them out there today, out there terrorizing and doing all the stuff that they're doing out there today, these transgenders, and then what happens? They pull out these bogus charges on Trump, and it's just ridiculous. These Democrats, it's just never ending with them. That's why the Republicans need to wake up, man. See, they need to realize, me and Aaron have been saying this for the longest, since the founding of Lexit. We're always saying that the Republicans have to realize what we're up against. The Democrats will do whatever it takes, illegal, scandalous, corrupt, whatever. They don't care. They'll do anything and everything that they can do. Republicans need to wake up and realize we're battling against these evil. So they need to say, all right, who can play at that game? Every Republican DA in all these states, red states, they should all be opening up in charges against Obama, Hillary, Pelosi. All of them should be under investigation. Go ahead, Jack.
You know, it's kind of funny. We were talking about it earlier, but to answer A-Rod, the federals had their chance at him 6 years ago or whatever, right? And they didn't bring no charges against Trump for this. So now this is just really out here. I mean, the statutes of limitation they're bringing up these false Trump narratives. They're coming against these charges to make it a felony, which is ridiculous. But the main thing is he's got to get it out of Manhattan, because you can't trust anything that goes on in there.
Right, 100%. You know what's crazy about this as well, and this is what irks me. Like we know Trump's up for the fight. Like this dude has been groomed for stuff like this, right? He's been dealing with the mob and other people. So they're trying to press up against him, and he's kind of like, whatever, dude. You know what I mean? Like, do what you got to do. But I think what irritates me the most is our side. Like, we got the House right now. Nobody's pressing no charges. Nobody's saying, hey, let's go after this person. We have judges. Nobody's saying, hey, I'm going to come out and, I know these people are corrupt. Jess was just call me earlier and goes, bro, it's just rotten. It's just ridiculous that they see we're looking at some of the charges they have for Trump. And we're like, what did he do? Falsifying what? Or what's going on here? When we literally are seeing Ghislaine Maxwell, right? And the Jeffrey Epstein and the island. And they got a whole list of people that went to the island and nothing, right? Things like that, things that matter to everyday Americans, where they're like, what are these weirdo people doing? And they just skate over it like it's nothing. And we can cry and say, hey, look at the other side. But it's until our side gets a backbone and starts stepping forward and say, hey, look, we're going to start pressing charges on this. We're going to start bringing indictments against these people. That's the only time, you guys know, that's the only time they'll back off. Because unless you actually do what they're doing to you, they don't care, because you're just signing. They're going to be like, you can cry all you want, but unless somebody goes to jail or you indict somebody, they're going to keep on blazing over us. And I think that's what's upsetting to me is it's like all the people that we elect are like spineless, man. We have very few, and those people, they don't even put them at the top. They're just like, oh yeah, you could join for a little bit, but relax. And I think that's what irritates me the most. We have so many things that we got to like battle. And it's like the last thing we should want to battle or have to battle is our own side to step up. Like that's what we elected you for. And I think that's frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating because, look, imagine it. They bring days after Trump won, they bring a big old thing against Flynn. Remember? Then they raided, what's his name? What's that guy's name? They raided Roger Stone. Look at the January 6th, how many people, it's just everything on our side. They throw the book at us, these Democrats. They don't play, and it's just disgusting how it's always only our side that goes at it. And then like we're saying, that's why it's most frustrating is our own side. It's our own side. These spineless cowards do nothing. Even right now, like even very few of them are even saying anything. They're all quiet. They should all be outraged. You know, imagine if they were bringing charges against Obama. You think the left, they'd be rioting in the streets. Pelosi and Schumer, they would be out in front of the Capitol, out there, a press conference, out there talking a bunch of crap and all that. Look at our side. Even some of them are saying that means Trump should not run because of that. Like, are you kidding me? Why? Because some bogus, corrupt DAs bringing some bogus charges on him, then that means he shouldn't run because of that? Ridiculous. But even this case that they're using the testimony of Cohen, a convicted felon. He's already convicted felon, lying. Well, what case do you ever, because I'm an ex-convict, everybody knows me, that I've ever seen they're using an ex-convict. That's all they have is the word from an ex-convict, and you're going. And then look at it. Everybody knows you won't put, even against a judge. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna bring no charge against a judge or something like that unless it's a serious or righteous crime. You're bringing against a president that's leaving. He's going to run, former president, and he's ahead in the polls to win again. And you're bringing this nonsense case, like my dad said. They already like 2 times, and the other DAs didn't even bring charges on the same thing. But then this, what he even said before he even got in there, that he was saying that he ran on saying that he was gonna prosecute Trump. So it's a total witch hunt. And what's sad is that all these people, the Trump derangement syndrome is so that how could they not be pissed? Even if I didn't like somebody and I seen Biden or whoever, they're doing some unjust, I'm saying, hey, that's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, these people should be saying, hey, look at all these, that's wrong what they're doing to Trump. What about the law? Like, you know what I mean? This is totally going to ruin America and all that. But instead, they're happy. You see all these people pull, Trump's going to get locked up finally. You know, I'm like, how could you be happy with that? Like, aren't you saying, you're always talking about the man and the corrupt government? All this is, we've never seen that. This is like a banana republic. We've never even seen the likes of this. And you guys ain't mad that you're just so happy to get Trump locked up. It's disgusting.
Right.
It's like you keep thinking, man, and it just keeps getting worse. You know, the stuff they come out with is even more ridiculous. But that's their game plan. Right. And it looks like with their game plan right now, they got 2 of them. You know, you have the Trump derangement syndrome. It's like they're on steroids, or they thinking anybody follows Trump is the devil. So it's like their religion. Let's kill him now, right? Because they know his first time round, he really didn't know the waters he was in. But if he, when he gets elected this time, he's going to know those waters, and he's going to know how to sail them. The heads are going to roll. You know?
Right. And a couple of things I think that people need to understand too, and where we need to get a little bit smarter is, okay, so they went after Trump when he was in the White House, right? So now he's not in the White House. So think how many more tools and how much of disadvantage he's at now, right? Okay, so everybody kind of needs to be smart. Another thing too is, they use old school, the Democrats, everybody's always like, oh, they're doing this. They're pretty basic tactics they're using. It's like when you stole something or you did something that was bad or whatever you did, right away you accuse the other person. Then they're like, I didn't do it, you did it. And everybody's looking and goes, wait, did you do it? No, he did it. No. So you got a lot of independents that are sitting there doing this, right? I mean, a lot of them are good thinkers, but a lot of them are just sitting there watching. And they don't know anything. They don't do the research. They're going to see this on the news, and they're going to be like, well, I don't like them, but Trump's indicted. I'm so sick of Paul. And see, that's the way it works. They'll sit there and muddy the waters, and they'll look and be like, well, they're bad. They're bad. I'm done with everything. And that's basically a simple tactic that the Democrats use. We don't use it. I don't know why we don't use it. I don't know know why we don't just start pointing fingers like Trump did. Lock her up, right? Like, that's what you should do. Start doing that. It worked. He said lock her up, and it stood in everybody's brain, everybody's mind, and that moved forward. But besides Trump, I didn't really see anybody else doing that. Like, there's no Republicans that are out there kind of throwing shots or pushing back. And I mean, of course we can't, because we're not on, we're not the leaders of the Republican Party, but I think it's just basic moves like that. And I don't know how we're going to combat it, to be honest. I know those, and I hate playing defense. Like, I wish we were on offense. Like, I wish tomorrow McCarthy would come out and just be like, this is what we're doing. We're hitting sanctions here. We're hitting sanctions there.
We're opening investigation on Obama.
Something like Hillary's. Jess, you brought this up backstage. You brought this up. Remember when Trey Gowdy had Hillary? Like this woman, she did in the comments she made. What was I gonna do? They were already dead. Like, are you kidding me? Right? Okay. This woman should have at least been something, like they should have pressed charge something, but no. It was like, oh, we took her to court and bye. There you go. Like, see you later. Before, that a lot of people wake up to their tactics and realize that we can scream at Biden all we want, but unless we start putting some of these wrongs that the Democrats are doing on the forefront so everybody can see, nobody's going to know. They're literally, dude, you guys ever see the Trump derangement syndrome? I'm going to let you talk, Pops. The Trump derangement syndrome is so true because if you get on TikTok, everybody's like, we finally got him. And I'm like, the laptop, they're like, we finally got him. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, are you guys serious? Because they literally believe that it's one side is 100% wrong and they're always right. And you're like, are you serious? It's crazy.
Just imagine. Look, hold on. Look, you want to say something? Go ahead.
It's just like what A-Rod was talking about, the Congress. I mean, all those new elected, and we got control of the Congress because of the mega format. For reals. You know, they all ran on it, and that's why they got elected. So in the next few days, we're going to see who's real and who's going to make a stand, not only for the Republican Party, but for the country. You know, I'm 67 years old. I've never seen anything like this. I remember how the things used to be, right? Where the bad people went to jail, like Jesse. Right? I'm just saying, you know. But nowadays, it's like you look, the Biden laptop. Okay, Republicans, I mean, that should be the first thing you go at.
Easy
First
stuff.
thing,
Easy.
you know. And it just, like I was hearing this guy today, he was saying the Republicans are doing that because they want to get us mad, because they want somebody to do something. So then they can say, oh, look, white supremacy, you know,
Yeah, I believe
Trump
that
or
too.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then just lock everybody down and really start putting people in jail. It's a horrible time in our country right now. But just like you guys exposed, waking up the Latinos, you guys need to continue. We need to continue to wake up America, man. I mean, hopefully the Christians, born again Christians, to get up and take a stand, you know, and the truth is right because they're coming, you know, and they're coming like right now.
That's what the Republicans need to wake up because they're ruthless. They're ruthless. Right. They're united. They stick together. And then look at our side. That's why. But even Trump, he even messes up his own self because he'll call him out on these rhinos and all that. But then you'll see him next week and he'll be right there with the rhinos and all that. He's gonna see who's down and who ain't and all that when this comes to fruition. So all those ones. Hope later, whatever, you don't see him over there with the rally with them and all that. All the ones that ain't no good, he should call them out. These fools ain't no good. Ostracize them. Get them out of here. But see, now you guys are seeing why we always preach so much, me and A-Rod, about rhinos. That's why we don't just go hand in foot whatever the Republicans, every fool they throw out there. We don't just, automatically we're going for him because he's a Republican. Because see, look, then you get all these rhinos in there and they do nothing. What's the point of them being there when they're not doing anything, or else they're going along with the left, or they're throwing Trump and us under the bus? Like, screw that. We need to get good Patriot, American first candidates in there. Because imagine even poor Trump. Imagine they're spying on it. Imagine as soon as he got in office, remember from day one, they were having riots out there. Remember the left, they were rioting out there, all of them. And then they kept leaking every day. The FBI and all of them were all leaking all his stuff. Remember, he couldn't even run his administration because they were all leaking every day. Leaks were coming out, and then the FBI. Imagine that the FBI was spying on him, doing all this corrupt old stuff, and then nothing happened. Now, nothing happened to Kobe. Imagine all of them that were righteously broke the law, doing what all their shenanigans they were doing. And look, now one thing happened to any of them, so they have no consequence. That's why they're even so brazen like this, these Democrats and the New World Order and all that, because they got no consequence. It's like if you have a bratty old kid and he knows he ain't gonna get whipped or whatever, he's just gonna be bratty as hell as he wants, and he has no consequence. And that's what's happening with these Democrats. They have no consequences to all this corruption and things that they're doing.
What happened to the Durham case? Remember that? It's
Yeah, whatever
supposed to be
happened to Durham? All these people, yeah, wait till
Durham.
Durham. I was telling them then, don't hold your breath. Ain't nothing's gonna happen. And all that. Now look at
Yeah.
Durham's totally forgotten. Where was that? So imagine all that. Yeah, Durham's gonna get them and all this and that. Imagine him, and she was all saying that. Oh, Trump was all that was all fake. She paid for that. You know what I mean? That so say where did did she even? She had to pay like a fine for the same thing that they're charging Trump with. Hillary got busted the same exact thing. Did you see a big old indictment and all that on Hillary? It's just ridiculous. But I'm hoping that, like I said, if there's any DA watching any red state, you guys should contact all of them. They should bring up investigations and all that against Obama. Even Schumer. Look at Schumer, Pelosi, all of them. You notice they all get rich when they're in office. Straight do it, follow the money, start going after all of them. All these, even Maxine Waters, she's over here in the ghetto, but she's making all kinds of money. Maxine Waters. They need to put all these Democrats. Then they might slow their roll and be like, hey. Then they might think twice, like, hey, if we do that, then the Republicans are going to hit us back, so we better slow our roll. You know what I mean? Or even other ones that do got dirt on them, they might tell them, hey, you better calm down because they know they're going to come after me. Or you know what I mean? They're going to, but they have no consequences, so they're just running buck wild.
Well, this prosecutor in New York, he ran on, give me the man and I'll find the crime.
Yeah.
Communism. You know, I mean, it's like you find somebody. I mean, if everybody gets some looks at somebody, everybody's done something wrong. I mean, it's like this movie me and my wife were watching the other day, where this killer would he would find everybody's weakness, and he had a database that he would do searches on pornography or whatever, and he would get the goods on these people, and he would say, "Hey, I'm going to tell your wife or your mom or whatever." So the shame of it, they would do what they say. You know, they'd get something on them. And it just boils down to, like what I said after the election. Our ace in the hole, Mike Pence, who was supposedly a Christian, born again, whatever, all he had to do was say what? No, there's something funny going on with the election. That's all he had to say. But he didn't do it. So it makes you show you how all these guys, these Republicans, these rhinos, what do they got on them? They have that island too where A-Rod talked about? They got something on these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got something on them, and that's what they're scared of.
Right. Something's up. And you have to kind of look at yourself and be like, and anybody that's listening right now, I love when I see comments, everybody going, this is going to be turned around. Like, yeah, like I hope, and you know, and Lord willing and all that good stuff. But after a while, you have to sit there and say, am I being duped? Yeah, because, okay, let's just go back real quick. Remember when Durham was walking in and we're like, woo, remember he's going to court? He's got the suitcase, everybody like, woo, everybody's sitting there and got indicted. And I'm like, what the? It's on happening that way. And we have to stop and be real. And like Trump, like I'm going to say it every single freaking episode. I mean, every single episode. Go back to January 6th, watch Trump's speech, and he says it and he lays it out. The swamp is too deep. I need y'all's help. He said it. It's too deep for him. It's too deep for him. He needs our help. And that means go hold these politicians. Don't get into rhinos. He needs our help. But what we're doing is we see him and we're like, Trump, yes. Yeah, McCarthy, whatever. Yeah. Trump's going to. And no, it never happens because what happens is, if you're a quarterback, you're only as good as your team as well. I mean, you can't just do it on your own. We've seen that. We saw it. We saw it play out. Now, he's going to be the leader and direct everybody, but at the end of the day, your team could throw the game as well, and we've seen it. So what we need to do is quit playing dumb and not just always wait for him and start pushing back and saying, hey, Congressman, hey, how come you guys are not helping him out? What the hell? Like, you guys are just watching this dude get, like, I don't care who you are. You'd be the toughest dude in the world. The minute the government gets involved, it's scary. I don't care who you are because they can do whatever they want to do. So nobody wants to be away from their family. Point blank. Nobody wants to be plucked out of their house and being taken away and be put in jail. No. So Trump's probably like, I don't sweat it. But the back of his mind, Does he trust the government or the system playing out to his advantage? Well, we see how that works out. It's not going to work out for him well. So he's probably in the back of his mind going, okay, I'll beat these charges, but what's going to be the fallout from it? And am I going to get the backing that I need to get? I don't mean from everybody else, but I mean from the elected officials as well. I think that's important. And I hope we stop getting played like fools,
I just hope he don't comply with it, because DeSantis already came out saying that he's not gonna go along with it, and he called it out as a bogus witch hunt and all that. So that means, because he's over there in Florida, he can't make Trump go. As long as DeSantis did that, then Trump doesn't have to go to Manhattan and turn himself in and all that, because he's the only way the governor Florida would have had to made him, and DeSantis already said no. So Trump, because I heard Guilfoyle saying, "Oh, the Trump is going to comply and go." I'm like, nah, he shouldn't. He should say, "Hell no, screw you guys, screw you and your fake investigation or whatever. I ain't doing nothing. What you guys are saying, you know what I mean?" He should do, because that's how they would. Democrats would never make anything easy or anything. He should not. And DeSantis already said he ain't. So hopefully, Trump won't do it, man, because it's totally bogus, and that's what the left wants. They want the picture of Trump in handcuffs, or the picture of him like that. That's going to be on wall-to-wall coverage. You're going to see that on memes forever from the left. They're going to want that and be showing that to everybody, even to independent people. Like, well, you want Trump? They're going to show the picture of him like he's a convict and all that. That's right. Trump shouldn't go along with it. He should say, nah, I'm not complying. What you guys can't do squat. This is all bogus.
But that's all they're going to have is that picture, but that's what they want.
Right.
They want that. That's what they want. And like I said, but they also want the right to react, and hopefully they can have them do something where they can say, see, look, January 6th, That's what their whole card is. They're trying to play to get. I mean, the devil is a liar, and he's the author of the liar, and he's got control right now of our country.
And then too, where he's running out, or their trying is going to be at in Manhattan. They went 80% for Biden, so it's all liberal headquarters right there. So that's what's scary, because if they get 12 leftist jurors on there, no matter how innocent or no matter how bogus these charges are, if they get 12 leftists up there, they're going to say guilty. So that's the only thing that kind of worries me a little bit, because it's all in the hands of these jurors. And like I said, that's 80% Democrats in that area. So it's going to be, that's the only scary part to me.
Right, 100%. So let's get into this. Let's get into the shooting.
Wait, one more thing. Hey, Rob, what they did say today before I came on the air was that the first move is to get it out of Manhattan. And of course they're going to refuse. So once they refuse, then it's unconstitutional. So that's another ground to throw it out. Okay, Rob?
Man, yeah, you know what? They're so wicked. Remember when we did the whole abortion thing, and Biden's like, I'll send the FBI over there to make sure these girls get there. Remember how they were like doing things that were just crooked and wrong? Man, they're so corrupt. But let's get into the transgender shooting, the attack on Christians. This is a sort. I went to a Christian school. I would have flipped my wig if I would have seen somebody come on there that looked like that on top of it and did that. It's a source. It's just sad. I know everybody's watched the video. I know a lot of people have went on YouTube. I watched it. I watched it with my wife, and we sat down, and it broke my heart to see. And I'm going to be real, to see some camera footage as the officers are going in, and to see bodies as they're passing bodies as they're going in. It was heartbreaking, and even worse is to see the left actually defend this and say, you know what, this is what happens when Christians bully people like this. And it's like, how dare you? Like, how dare you see a situation where there's kids that have lost their lives and then turn around and say bad somebody was treated bad and then do something that's bad and then you justify it or you make excuses for it. And I don't know, Jess. I know that you feel strongly about this because we fight this every day. We fight the ungodliness that's out in the world, and then to see this and then turn around and attack us for it, I don't. It doesn't make sense.
Well, see, I hope you guys been seeing because we've been pushing back. We've been calling it for the longest. Other people are like, oh, how come Lexus, they're posting so much and that. But look, now you see, because we see with spiritual eyes, that's the new fight that's going to be coming up, and it's not going to go away until Jesus comes back. It's going to be because the left is not going to stop until America is Sodom and Gomorrah. But to me, it was just disgusting today. The press conference, they went up there and they were saying, they're saying that the transgender were victims and this and that. Yeah. That's disgusting. That's the comment from the White House. You know what I mean? Nothing about for Christians or these whatever. You came out saying, sorry for the. That's what the theme was on all these left-wing leftist shows, is that they were like, see, because of the transgender, because they changed that China law. See how disgusting these Democrats. That's just show you that what we've been telling you. That's why those you people that haven't been paying that much attention and all that, you need to pay attention, because we're in a spiritual battle against the forces of evil. They're totally evil, and they're even out there protesting today. And then funny is that it's a woman. It's a woman. I ain't gonna go. You see that? That's what the left was crying about too. They were saying you're misgendering her. They're like, what? You're not even caring what she did and all. You're saying, she was there. Left was outraged because we were misgendering her. But yes, it was a woman, a nutty woman that did all this. But she had a manifesto. Right? And in the manifesto, it says everything in there. And you notice how these corrupt FBI and them, they're not releasing it. How the hell are they not? I bet you if it was a white supremacist or whatever, they thought within 10 minutes it would have been released, or they would have had everything about it. But since they know she must have said righteously against you Christians or some kind of hate speech against Christians, that's why these corrupt FBI and these corrupt justice departments are not showing it, because it doesn't fit their narrative, and they know it's going to be something damning against them. So they're not showing it. It's just disgusting how we have to go through all this corruption in all ways, man. And even as soon as that shooting happened, immediately Biden and the left, AOC, and them take the guns, and immediately like that, and then it comes out and it's one of them. And not only that, that's the fourth straight shooting by them. The last 4 shootings was by them, and then they came out right on Twitter. It's mostly, you can see it. They have all kinds of shirts causing violence. There was a day of vengeance that they were supposed to be doing all this stuff. And when we were posting it, all the conservatives are posting these posts from these leftists, we got hit. We got violations, and social media is trying to hide, cover for them, showing like, why are you giving us violations? We're only showing their evil and all of that, and you're giving us a violations for showing their evil. Is because they're trying to like coddle the transgender and the gays and like that. We can't, nothing bad about them, and you're hiding their evilness. They're saying, like I said, if it was a white supremacist or a Proud Boy or anybody that they thought, they wouldn't do that. But see how even big tech, everything is against us, trying to baby them. That's like Aaron said, how they're trying to, it's because of victimize their victim, like this and that, whatever, to them. But never to us. They could care less about the Christians.
It's funny you say that, the manifesto. But first, what you talked about Biden, I've never seen a president come out and talk to the country about a mass shooting and don't apologize and be sympathetic to people who were killed, their families. He comes out, and what does he say? Guns need to take away their guns. Then the other part of the video comes out that he comes out joking.
Laughing.
The media didn't play this. But the other ones like Fox and Newsmax, they show that he came out saying, Oh, the reason I'm out here is because of ice cream. I love ice cream.
What an idiot.
Yeah, laugh.
Joe Biden, Dr. Biden's wife, I mean, is my husband, joking about an ugly tragedy like this.
Yeah.
And the bingo thing that you said, Jesse, is the manifesto,
Mhm.
right? Why has that not been? Because the button was pushed. Do
Right.
not show that. Like I said, there's somebody pushing the buttons, and they told them already, no,
Yeah.
stop this right away. Transgender is our baby, right? Transgender is our baby, and we're not going to let it because that manifesto's going to prove everything. You know what you
That
were
we've
talking
been
about,
saying.
and I was glad you posted it. That those last 4 shootings were transvestite people, right? I don't even know the right word, right? But I mean, it was like
Transgender.
those, right? And that blew my mind. I said about it because if you think about it, all this stuff that's going on, God created man and a woman, they're different. Man's a different, you look at A-Rod's beard, masculinity and all that. And you look at women, they're nice, feminine, nice. So then you start putting all these hormones in these people to change how they are, shooting all these drugs in them to make them, it is conflicting with their body chemistry. That's right, making them loony. Think about it.
Well,
They should do a study on that. Maybe
Well, no.
that's what's causing all these hormones and all that. Maybe that's what's making these people go nuts. Go ahead.
yeah, I got a couple points. It's
Something.
funny. I just thought about it right now. If you even go back just 150 years, it was a freak show to have a bearded woman, right? Remember, it was a freak show, like
Yeah,
a circus. Now it's normal, and you're the freak if you speak up against it. So when you say, "Oh, they've always been there," you just no, they were freaks, bro. Like they were freaks. Like in the 1800s, they had them around. Like circus showing the bearded woman now or the whatever. Nowadays, everybody's just like that's normal. No, it wasn't. It was people's hormones that was weird, and sometimes you just showed it on display. Now they're trying to make themselves like this, and when we call it a freak show because that's what it is, they get mad at us. And Jesse, you brought something up, and I think that's important. Is when the news, a lot of people got hit on Twitter when they started posting, all these transgenders coming out saying, oh, because all of a sudden they're tough, right? All of a sudden they shot a couple innocent kids. Oh, we're going to shoot people down. Oh, yeah, you're real tough, right? Okay, you're real tough, whatever. All of a sudden, everybody's like, all the outlets are like, don't post it. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. How come news media gets away with posting false information like they did with the jab and all this other stuff, and all they have to do is come back and retract it? How come we don't get that same opportunity? How come we can't come back and say, hey, look at, yeah, my bad, we were wrong, and they'll be like, okay, you don't get a violation. It's like, don't talk about this, you're wrong. And we end up being right about a lot of stuff, and all the news media has to do is say, you know what? And that's why I think it's important that everybody just stop watching them. Just stop watching. And they have. Nobody trusts CNN no more. And them going and saying I want your guns. Jesse, you posted it, and I don't know if I'm going to get this right, but you posted something that said Cain killed Abel with the rock, and then David killed Goliath with the rock.
It's not the rock. Yeah.
One was used for good, and one was used for bad. But it's not about the rock. It's the intent of it, right? It's not about the rock. It's not about the gun. It's the intent of it. And I think that we can go down the conversation and get lost. But like Pops was saying, he comes out here and he's like, ice cream, ice cream. We need to take their guns. AOC comes out. I want your guns. Oprah Winfrey, we need to take your guns. It's like, is anybody else like realizing that these transgenders are committing suicide and then they're killing people? And they're kind of not all there. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's not so much the gun. And maybe it's the fact that they're cuckoo freaking crazy. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But they don't even acknowledge that. And they want to say someone like Trump is crazy. Or someone like, if you're a supporter of the Conservative Party, you're nuts because of the way you think. But a person that killed innocent children, and what you say is they were bullied? Like, oh my, like it just really upsets me because innocent children were killed at a Christian school, and not a word from the left about them trying to be better, parents or better kids going to church, and all you got to talk about is them being bullied. That's foul, man. That's foul. That
Just,
ain't right.
just imagine if it
Can
was
I-
a Muslim, like if if it
It's
had
like
something
what
happens to
Tucker was
Muslim.
saying the other day. Not only the manifesto, but the DNA report or whatever to see if this guy was on drugs or alcohol or whatever, or even to see these transformation drugs that they give these transvestites I mean, what would did they give him that would affect his mind? Because I don't know,
True. That's
80%
true.
or so of them are all under psychiatric care, right? All those hormones are just driving them crazy. So how come they haven't even released that?
Yeah, how come they're not doing a study
Right,
on
right,
that?
right, right, right.
That's what
That,
there should be. But yeah, it's just sad. Like I was saying, that if it was Muslims or something, then right away they'll say Islamophobia. And if it's gays or all that, but it's
NRA.
Christians. Yeah, it's Christians that got killed. Nothing. There's no word or nothing for them killing Christians or doing something to Christians. It's just disgusting how they have no respect. But it's showing. It's showing how, because you know these TV shows in Hollywood and all that. Every time they show one of them on TV or something, they try to act haha like they're so nice and everything. It's showing showing the real, not all of them. I'm not going to point a picture at all of them, but it's showing the real truth of how a lot of them is. And then imagine that, just because for what they were saying, because of the Tennessee law that got overturned. Yeah, because we don't want you to be chopping off little kids' things and body parts, and we don't want drag queens dancing with little kids. So because of that, you go shoot up people. So just because if we don't agree what you're saying, that's what Ara was talking to me the other day, saying that. Imagine that. Just because if we don't agree with you politically on something, that this is what you guys take it to. You guys start
right.
shooting us all up just because we don't agree with you. That's disgusting. This is pure, like I said, a spiritual battle. It's pure evil. We're in the last days.
Yeah, I was talking to Jess about it. I remember we went to the White House to go see Trump, and when we came out, of course, the news media was all there because Trump had just had COVID, so everybody was like, "Oh, they wanted to know, did you have to wear a mask? Did you? How was the speech?" So we went around and we were talking to different news crews, and I remember we got to an Australian news station, right? I mean, it was a news crew, and they were like, "Oh, what did Trump talk about?" And we were just like, "Oh, he just talked about what he was doing for the Latino and the Black community, the minorities," and they were like, "Oh." So as we were talking, it was me, Bam, and Mario. And as we were talking, some lady was right behind us, screaming at us, "Put on your mask." She's a white liberal with the BLM hat on. "Put on your mask. Put on your." And so we're trying to talk, and we're like, "Hey, can you do us a favor? Can you back up? Like, we're in the middle of an interview." So she came to the side, and we're like, "Hey, we're like, relax, relax." So we're talking now. It started to gain a little crowd, right? Well, so guys you could tell that weren't conservative were coming over because they seen the red MAGA hats. So like, "Oh, what's a commotion?" They were coming over, but they actually were turning around looking at this lady start like slobbering from the mouth. And I said, "Hey, why don't you go where those Antifa guys are over there in the front of the White House to bother them? They're not wearing a mask. Leave us alone. Why are you in my face?" And then she got so mad, she turned around and she looked at me. She said, "I hope you die." And then the news camera guy just stood there. He looked, everybody just did this. They looked at, they're from Australia, everybody's looking. And I turned around and I said, "See, that's the difference between us and them. I can agree to disagree. I don't want no harm on her. The minute a white liberal, wearing a BLM hat on, saying that she's for minorities, turns around to a minority and says, "I hope you die because of the way you think," all that shows you is they don't care about skin color. An ideology to them, and they're using us to implement what they want. And the news camera guy from Australia was just like, let go of the camera, and he was just like, "Dude," like. So then after it was over, the crowd that I thought was against me, I turned around and the guy goes, "Hey man, like I get your point." And he shook my hand. It was a black dude. "I get your point," and he walked off. And that's literally, now Jesse's right. Now they're acting on it. "I hope you die." You will die. Now they're saying you should be threatening. Dead. Yeah, that's what it is. So I think that's a scary thing.
It is the ideology. I mean, just reflecting on Black Lives Matter, you remember how many people compromised. "Oh, I don't want to be a racist," or whatever. Our problem is that as born again Christians, We can't compromise. And they know that. So we're a total threat to them because they know we can't convert them. And like I was telling Jesse in Romans, the first chapter of Romans, it talks about it. And this is why they know they can't convert us. So this is why they want to get rid of us, right? And destroy us and come against us. Because if I could read this, if I may, right?
Yeah.
Just real quick. Romans 1 says, God therefore gave them up to the uncleanness of the lust of their hearts, to dishonor their own bodies among themselves for exchange of the truth of God for the lie, and to worship and serve the creature rather than the creator. And it says, for this reason, God gave them over to vile passions. For even the woman exchanged for the natural use of what is against nature. Likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of a woman, burn for the lust of one another, men and women committing what is shameful and receiving themselves to the penalty, right? And then the last part, it says, even as they did not like to retain the knowledge of God, God gave them over to a debased mind. And then if you look on, it just says that he's going to give them all this stuff: sexual immorality, wickedness, evil-mindedness, right? And then I love this one: inventors of evil things. Inventors of evil things. He says, this transgender, this inventing new stuff. I mean, we knew the other stuff was bad before, homosexuality and all that. It was perverted. Now it's so perverted so far now that they're inventing their own evil by changing a man and a woman. But even worse, they want to get the little kids.
That's next on the leftist. I always say it. That's next on the leftist agenda is pedophilia, and they'll never stop until America is full blown Sodom and Gomorrah. Like I always say, because sin is never satisfied. It always wants to keep going. It's like a fire. It just always wants to keep going. It's never enough. So the left is going to just keep on going till it's full blown pedophilia everywhere. But go on to the next subject, Aaron.
Yeah, I think it's evil. So, Jess, something came out in California, and I want you to talk about it because you said it to me, and I think it's important. And it seems like they're always throwing stuff in when all this, like, Trump's indictments, all of a sudden, all this stuff's on the news, and they throw these little things in, and we don't catch them a lot of the times. And I've said this before, when there's a lot of stuff going on in the news, watch for the fine details, because that's when the devil starts to slip his little things in, right, to gain more leverage, to take more people to hell with them. So here in California, when did they just pass, Jess?
It hasn't passed, but they're trying to do AB 665, I believe it is. But it's where the government could take your child at 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I posted the video. I think I posted. If I haven't, then I will. So just keep checking the next page. Is it there already?
I don't know.
I think it's there. If not, if it isn't, then I'll do it right after the show. But it tells you everything about it, where a child could just go to his school counselor and say, "Hey, I give you your parent. You could get in a fight with your child. Your child just goes to the school and tells them that he don't want to go home or whatever, and they could take your child from you." Which is once again these leftists trying to take the control away from parents, and this is frightening. It's all because of the transgender, all of that they're trying to do. So imagine, so if a little kid, that's what it's really all for. It's because if a child comes and tells their parent, like they'll go to the school, that I'm a transgender, but my parents and them are telling me not to, or they don't accept it, then they'll take your child. That should frighten every single American, every single parent. So even if you have anybody that's watching this, or go watch the video, you should share it to all your family members and say, "Are you cool with this? You see what these Democrats are doing? Are you cool with them being able to take your child with you like that?" And then when you read the bill and all that, it doesn't even say anything about it, like if the kid's being abused or something like that. It doesn't even have anything. So the kid could basically, for whatever reason, they could take your child from you. Imagine from as young as 12 years old. That's disgusting. That's why we keep on saying, stop voting for these evil, godless Democrats. Stop being manipulated, thinking everything is racism and whatever nonsense that they've been manipulating you with. Do you think that's cool? Do you think that's cool that the government should be able to take your child at 12 years old and you have no say-so over your own child? What that?
Yeah, I seen that today too, Jess. I mean, but they do want in the schools and all that video you posted, that transvestite doing that show to the teenage girl.
Yeah,
but they do want that. It's like, but the bottom line is, how many born again Christians don't even vote?
Right.
That's the problem. Oh, I don't know if it's biblical, or I don't know this, or I don't think I should. I mean, come on. The truth and what is right is right. I mean, our country is Sodom and Gomorrah. It is.
They're scared of it.
It's all around us.
Right. I think you're right, bro. And if you get a lot of people say, well, I'm not going to vote. I'm just going to put my kids in a Christian school. Oh, look what just happened.
There you go.
What happened in a Christian school? It upsets me because a lot of us and people are always saying, well, you guys are always involved in politics. Why do you get involved in politics? Because we told you it starts small. They came in and said, hey, check it out. If you want to call yourself Tommy, but your name is Beth, it's cool. Or you could say he, her, whatever. We won't tell your parents. And then everybody's like, I don't like that, but my kids don't believe in it. It goes from little things like that to, hey, if you want to change your gender and your parents don't like it, we could go find you a home that's cool. Oh, your mom's mad because you took a PlayStation away and you want to change. Okay, you want to go to another home? Like, they're small little brats that they want to get their way because they don't really know what they want to be. There have been studies across the world where right now there's major lawsuits in other countries where people have regretted changing their genders and actually can't do nothing about it. So they're coming back soon because they're saying I was manipulated at a young age to believe that I actually thought they told me it was okay to have my own thought when I didn't even know what the heck was going on. They don't know what's going on. They're young kids, but they're being manipulated into thinking that they can change the gender because it's the cool thing to do. Because if I went to the doctor right now and say, hey, doc, I want my ear chopped off and take off a finger, he'd be like, okay, you got to go see somebody right away. You got issues, right? See psychologist. You're cuckoo crazy. But if I came in and said, I want to change my sex, go ahead and make me like the Pillsbury Doughboy. You know what I mean? Make me smooth down there. He'll be like, sure, got it. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to do that. And you think about it and you're like, this is the world we live in. But it's because everybody, if that makes you sick and you're an independent, maybe you should be voting. Maybe you should get involved. Maybe you don't have to be marching, but that at the end of the day, all that matters is you say yes or you say no to these things. You probably should get involved. I think it's important.
Yeah, even if you don't like Republicans, whatever, because I don't like a lot of them either, whatever. But you have to realize it's good versus evil now. Like the other side, a lot of Republicans that you heard us calling out on this show, there's half of them rhinos, and a lot of them ain't no good. But the other side is like Satan himself. You know what I mean? Like the other is like totally evil, totally disgusting, trying to destroy America. So how could you even consider going, like I said, to get this bill? But there's so many bills. They're trying to do late-term abortion. So much evil crap the left is always doing. And then like these people are just not, because of Trump or whatever, something stupid reason. Because your dad and that was a Democrat. So what? This ain't no Kennedy Democrats. They're already totally full-blown, far to the left, Marxist, anti-America, godless, disgusting people. You see what they're even doing to Trump. These corrupt in all ways. They're corrupt, but how could you even be in the right mind, even aside from all of that? Look at you. Like the inflation? You like these gas prices? You know what I mean? Like what? You like this open border? You like them pushing socialism, pushing CRT, trying to take your guns, like name it. You name it, and the Democrats are screwing it up, and you guys are still voting for these Democrats? Like, wake the hell up, especially you believers. If you're a believer in
Yes.
Christ, then how that you should repent if you're even considering voting for Democrats.
It's like our country is so bad, but it's an international problem. The left's everywhere. I mean, you see it. You know, this transgender movement. I mean, look at Israel, what's going on. It's really, really bad. It's because the enemy's got a hold of this world. And even as men, you guys know, because you guys know the Lord, it's going to get darker. It's going to get even darker. But you guys are the light, and you guys are the voice of the people. Keep doing it, guys. Just keep doing it, because the enemy wants to take you out. He doesn't want you guys doing this, speaking the truth. So just keep doing it, man, because I appreciate it, and I know there's a lot of people that come up to me, hey, Lexit, whatever, right? They like it, you know. And I got encouraged this morning when I was reading my devotional. And just real quick, it said this, you guys.
Wait, hold on. Anybody, any questions? Go ahead and leave some questions, and then Alfred might read them off. So go ahead, and if you have any questions as he's reading, go ahead and put your questions up.
Questions, please. It says he not only called the God of hope, he's not only called the God of hope because he's the object of our hope, but because he's the author of it, and all the scriptures are written for us to give us that hope and put the hope in us. And in Romans 15:13, it says this, may the God of hope fill you with all the joy and peace in believing, that you may abound in the hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. It's by the Spirit of God who lives in you guys and lives in all of us that's going to sustain us. Because the enemy wants us to look to the left and to the right. And it's tough, man, because this is upsetting. But we just got to remember, God's in control, even though we don't understand. And to keep pushing the truth, you guys. You know, I love you guys, man. And I'm proud of you guys. And please, don't stop what you guys are doing, man. It's making a difference in my family and in my community.
Amen. We got any questions, Alfred?
Actually, there's no questions, but a lot of the things that people are talking about in the chat, man, hey, thanks so much for reaching out for the chat. The chat is on fire. We have 70 or 80 messages that are going, hitting strong. There's no messages. People are just saying they're Satanist. You know, people are talking about what the AB 665 means. It means what you guys are mentioning, that hey, some of these co-authors. Think about it. This bill was actually co-authored by no other than Scott Wiener, right? And so he's just been pushing this
Wiener
agenda.
himself.
Let it go.
Yeah. So you know, this thing, everybody knows that this thing is in California. California has been gearing as the model of society, right? This is throughout the United States, but people are waking up. In fact, you know, people are talking in the chat in regards to the major exodus that's happening in California just over the last 3 years. As you all know, in the beginning year, there was approximately 160,000 people that left California, and people are jumping the ship. But you know what? It's for a good thing. It's for a good cause, because guess what? People are taking, you know, the essence of God. I mean, I wish that people can stay here and we can fight this. You know, California is worth fighting for, but people are upset about what's going on with the segment number 1 in regards to Trump. They're very upset about how they feel, how this is happening in New York. So they were either expecting California, but hey, everybody's shocked that it's happening in New York, but everybody's in agreement with what's happening with DeSantis. He's not going to force them to go up to New York. And this is what the left has been screaming about for the last 4 years. You know, not only the 4 years that he was in office, but this next 3 years. Think about it. It's already been 7 years since the left has been upset in regards to what Trump did, which was stole the election, right, as they say, in 2016. So this is the way of them showing everybody and all you conservatives that you know what, they're still in control, and this is what they say they would do. So they're keeping promise to the base that this is what they say they would do. And for the most part, on segment number number two, in regards to the shooting, people are very upset that the media is talking about, is talking in regards to the transgender. Like NPR is more focused about the pronouns instead of focusing on the actual attack and on a Christian school, on that 6 people have passed away. But NPR and US and I believe another outlet, they're more upset about how people are misgendering, or other conservative media are misgendering this person, right? So for that matter, we know that everything that's going on right now is because of the testosterone that people are taking, and it's having an impact on these on women that want to be men. And think about it, when you pump us as women, I mean us as men, sorry, look at
Hey, bro, hey,
look at how confused we are. But us as men, we know that we have a strong testosterone, meaning like we're strong, we're angry, if we get upset, we're upset. Well, guess what? If you're pumping a lot of this testosterone into women, and think about it, they're going into that transition, this affects issues with, and I'm not a medical doctor. I agree. I'm not a medical doctor, but a lot of the things that has been said is because of all the stuff that has been pumped into, the people that want to transition, the drugs. And if you're having an issue with a mental issue, well, this is what's causing it. And people on the chat are talking about this, and they understand that. And for the last point, and sorry, I'm taking a little longer here. The last point, the transgenders and taking control of the kids, people are saying that's sick. That this shouldn't have happened, and this all happened because guess who's in control? You're right. The person that's in control right now has 5 or 6 in the cabinet that are that particular transgenders. The speaker is a person that says I'm bi, right? The person, the one that's in control of medical is actually a man that became a woman, and now you guys know the story. We're not going to get into it because we've already been shadow banned. I mean, our stream got hit 2 times, 3 times while you guys were talking about this, and we dropped. And because they don't want people to hear this, but it's important that we say it. So everybody's upset, but everybody's following up with what Lexit is saying in regards to Latinos. So let's do not vote Democrats. Let's get them out, because guess what? It's time to change.
Amen. And I just want to say, everybody that's in the Southern Cali area, this Sunday I'll be speaking at the Coliseum. They're having a Hope Fest LA at the LA Coliseum. It's going to be great. There's going to be actors, Noel G, and there's going to be a lot of great performers, worship music, and all kinds of stuff. There's going to be food, car show, everything's going to be a great event. So come on out if you're in the Coliseum on Tuesday. I'll be speaking at 6, but I think it starts at like 12 or something like that. But I'll be speaking at 6. So if anybody that's in Southern Cali, this Sunday at the LA Coliseum, come down. You can meet us. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, no, we'll let Potts say the closing words. I thank you guys for coming on. Thank you to the sponsors, everybody that stood in the chat and is engaged. Spread the word, man. Go out there and let everybody know what's being passed in California. Push back on it. Talk about some of the medicines, that some of these people are taking that may drive people to that point. They're crazy. They're committing suicide at the high rates for a reason. And preach the gospel first and foremost, because at the end of the day, I got peace at the end of the day. Do I want certain people to win politically? Of course. Do I want our side to be on top? Of course. But at the end of the day, because I'm a believer, God gave me peace because I already know the end. We're just playing this out. I know the end. And I truly believe that God is doing all this for one day him to be like, realize you need me and not everybody else, right? You realize that, and I hope everybody goes up and down and realizes there's only true happiness with Christ and true salvation with Him. But yeah, that's my words. Go ahead, bro.
And the other last thing is speak to your kids. Talk to your kids about this.
Right.
I talk to my grandchildren about it. Tell them the truth. Just get that time and just mention it. However it's going to happen, but you need to let them know. And to tell them what's going on in there, because we can't even imagine what's going on in these schools. We get a little picture or whatever, but it's really bad. And then the last I wanted to show A-Rod.
Yeah. Hey, bro. He's right here with me. What are you talking about? All right. Hey, you
All right.
guys don't real quick, but thanks for coming on, bro. In person, if you guys have a chance to ever meet Jesse's dad, boy, one of the funniest people we ever met. It's like Comedy Central when he's around. I love having when I get to see him. But thanks for coming on, bro.
Thanks for coming on, everybody. Remember, Jesus is coming soon. Make sure you're right with God.
God bless you.
Hi, this is Kathy DeHart with DeHart Construction Services, located right here in the Inland Empire. You know, we're a family-owned business, and today our youngest member of our family is visiting. Kinsey, can you say hi?
Hi.
Now, Kinsey, I have an important question for you. Where do you think food comes from?
A market store?
You're right. But before it gets to a market, we have farmers and dairies and all kinds of other people who make food. Do you remember hearing that?
Uh-huh.
And then we have people who have to keep the food cold.
And guess what?
What?
I remember we getting strawberries at a litter market.
Well, Papa and I, we work with companies that make food and keep food cold and gets it to the grocery stores.
That's cool.
DCS is a proud supporter of the American Dream. For all of your cold storage or food facility needs, visit our website at chillwithdheart.com. Once again, chillwithdheart.com. Serving all of California, CSLB 949062.